When you think of Nintendo icons, you think of the basics: Mario, Link, Kirby, Pikachu, and Spike. But when it comes to the launch of the 3DS in 2011, you had none of those mascots opening day. If you were picking it up day one, you were not getting Zelda Breath of the Wild. You were gonna have to settle for Nintendogs plus cats, and you're gonna like it. However, a few months after the 3DS launched, we were all saved by a little game called Pushmo. Pushmo is such a cute puzzle game. You play as Mallo, and you have to solve puzzles to stop children from suffocating to death. Oh, and 3 more games were also added to the franchise: Crashmo, Pushmo World, and Stretchmo, all building off of the base that Pushmo made and turned it into something incredible. With all of these beloved titles in this franchise, what could possibly go wrong? Hold on, what's this? God damn it! When that day came, we all knew what was inevitable. Nintendo was gonna make an announcement showcasing 10 minutes of gameplay from Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Let's go! Yeah, the 3DS and Wii U eShop were both shut down that day. And honestly, I was content. I grabbed everything I wanted. And then I realized I never grabbed the Pushmo games. Now this was crucial. The Pushmo games are eShop exclusive, so that means no physical cartridges have ever been made. I rushed to grab my 3DS and open up the eShop and grab those games within the last 10 minutes of the eShop being open. Thank God! Now, there is a game I was unable to grab, which is Pushmo World, because I don't own a Wii U. But my friend Jenny does own a Wii U, and did not resort to emulation. Right, Jenny?
Shut up! Move on!
Okay, but for now, I want to start where it all started, with the game Pushmo, and this franchise's inevitable downfall, now becoming an icon, now gone. I actually thought he was a salmon. Now, I think Europe has a very lazy way of naming things. The game is called Pushmo, and in Pushmo, you pull blocks to solve these fun puzzles. Now take a wild guess at what Europe named the game. Pull blocks. The game where you pull blocks is called Pull Blocks. Now next you're going to tell me that Mario was named Jumpman because he's a man who jumps? What the fuck? Pushmo was a game released on the Nintendo eShop exclusively. Keep that in mind. Dropping worldwide on December 8th, the creature Mallo and the world of Pushmo charmed many that Christmas holiday. Something that completely helped it was the very small price of the game, and the amount of content you get. For only $7, you would get 250 unique puzzles, which can keep you busy for a long time. Your objective is to reach the top of the puzzle to save a child stuck in the blocks. Yeah, I didn't exaggerate about the children suffocating. This is the plot of the game. Now, the children were playing on the Pushmo, and the whole reason they got stuck was Corin. Corin pressed the reset button while they were at the top, resetting the Pushmo and trapping them all inside. Yeah, okay, at the end of the game it was revealed that he was lonely and that's why he did it, but I don't forgive that motherfucker. Everyone in the game did, but I do not forgive that motherfucker. Now, my favorite character in this game is Mallo, but Papa Blocks is a close second. He teaches you how to solve Pushmos and helps you save these kids. I mean, he's doing it for the kids. How could you not love him? Now, as I said, the game ends with the children forgiving Corin, and that's it. That's the game. You solve puzzles, and that's it. You're not really playing this game for the story. You're playing it for the fun, cool puzzles, and the story is just like a little side snack you get with the meal. And that's Pushmo. There's not a lot to talk about. You pull blocks, fuck you, Europe, and you solve fun puzzles.
Yo, I'm gonna let you finish, but ding dong! Who's that? Yo, it's Crash at the door!
Okay. The game's called Crashmo, and it's where you make blocks fall to solve puzzles. Guess what Europe named the game? Fall Blocks. They named the game Fall Block. Crashmo is a weird stain in the Pushmo franchise, and I don't know another way to word that. I just think it's a weird little stain. That doesn't mean I think it's bad. I think it's just a weird little stain. If you ask most fans of the Pushmo franchise, Crashmo will probably be their least favorite, and I can understand why. Not only does it have less levels than the original, the difficulty is also incredible. incredibly ramped up to where you have to do things that, in Pushmo, you wouldn't even think of doing. Now, I personally don't think Crash Mode is a bad game. I'm just saying, compared to the others in the franchise, it's gonna be my least favorite, and it's gonna be the one I replay the least. The plot of the game is in a sense similar to the first one, but different in a way where it works and can count as a sequel instead of an extension of the first game. The plot of the game is that Papa Blox' niece, Poppy, is coming into town with her 100 birds that she somehow loses and gets stuck on top of the Crash Mode. They're birds. Why do I have to save them? The game ends when you get all 100 of the birds, and the game ends with Mallo and Poppy in this hot air balloon thing, but there's no balloon, and it's just the 100 birds, and they carry you up into the sky, and credits roll. What the fuck? Like I said, this game's a weird little critter. I would personally not replay it if I had Pushmo and Stretchmo also on the same table. And the next game of the franchise doesn't try to do something new while still keeping it fresh. The next game being...
Hey Twitter world, yours truly here.
Pushmo World. Oh, Pushmo World. What can I say that hasn't already been said? You push blocks, you climb blocks, and you pull blocks world. And it's really good. The puzzles are fun. I'd say it's on par with the first games in terms of quality, because it basically is the first game. Well, Crash Mo decided to push the series forward a little bit. Intelligent Systems decided to basically make more levels for Pushmo 1, added some new mechanics like the yin-yang blocks, and packaged them for the Wii U. Which makes sense since the series had been handheld only. I just wish they did something a bit more interesting. Thank you, Foliage557, for having me on. There's been flower vans driving around my house all day. I think it's the government, so I think it's time to finally use those tunnels. See ya.
Too real! It's too real! It's too real. Arby's is really starting to second guess this partnership.
All right, let's do this one last time.
The game is called Stretchmo. It's a game where you stretch blocks to their fullest potential to solve unique puzzles. Guess what Europe named the game? It's called Fall Blocks in Europe. They named it fucking Full Blocks! Stretchmo is a silly little goofy game, and it's weird, but I don't think it's as weird as Crashmo. This game was part of Nintendo's free to start program, but later on just became a regular game that you can buy and get all of its worth. I think my favorite part about Stretchmo is you can play as all of the main characters that you've seen so far. You can play as Mallo, you can play as Papa Blox, you can play as Poppy, and you can play as Corn. Now, my favorite part about each individual character, they all have their own pack of levels. They all have unique puzzles tied around them. Papa Blox has these cool-looking NES kind of puzzles, and it's cool because Papa Blox is an old person. Now, something I've purposefully kept hidden in this video is a certain fact about all of the Pushmo games, and that includes this one. But technically, there are infinite user-made levels that you can play through QR codes. And oh my gosh, some of the puzzles the community makes is fantastic. Why does Mallo have to save children again? Stretchmo might be my favorite entry in the franchise. And I know that's a really bold claim when you have 3 other games, but oh my gosh, this game radiates such a fun, playful character, and I can't help but love it. If you asked me what the plot of this game was, I would not be able to tell you because I'd be too busy stretching out those blocks. And I really am so glad everyone else can play this game and the other games by legitimate means. It makes me so happy to know that they're not going to have to resort to emulation to play these games.